I thought about a dozen different ways to start this. Figured maybe I'd start by the character's comic history, then talk about his appearances in the MCU and how he never seems to really get the spotlight he deserves. Or maybe I'd talk about how hard it seems to adapt a character from page to screen before segueing to talking about the Hulk. But I'm not smart or savvy enough to do that, so I'm just going to flat out say it. I love Marvels, Universals, Ang Lee's, the Hulk, trademark, copyright, all that jazz, you know the drill. Now, make no mistake, this isn't some misunderstood movie that actually has been secretly a masterpiece all along. Its problems are obvious. The dialogue is on the nose as you can imagine.
It's Bruce, he's like that. He's just so bottled up.
We're gonna have to watch that temper of yours.
Oh, some repressed memories.
The transitions are jarring as hell. Eric Bana looks like he's been Xanax before each take started.
It was like being born, coming up for air, light hitting my face and screaming. My heartbeat. Like boom.
It's okay, I got you. I'm sorry.
Hulk size. I don't like it very much, he's kind of too big for his own good. And Nick Nolte simply exists, and that's very unnerving. But, as a Hulk movie, as one of the two, well, three if you consider them as separate individuals, movie versions of the character we have seen so far, I think it is by far the best one. Which is more than I can say for the current MCU version that started so promising but then has turned into a joke because they have no idea how to write him in a team up situation. Man, MCU has really missed the mark on the character, huh? Mark, get it? Because he's played by, you know. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the reason why 2003 Hulk is so good is simple. Ang Lee cared. He cared about Bruce's pain, his trauma, his childhood, his family. Because the simple fact is, underneath all the gamma and muscles and greenery, Bruce Banner is an abused survivor, which this movie actually shows. The movie actually underplays Brian's excellent parenting skills because in the comics he's a full-on monster. He is the reason the Hulk exists in the first place. In case you didn't know, Bruce Banner has dissociative identity disorder as a result of his deeply, deeply traumatic childhood. A fact you would never know if you only seen the MCU version. The Hulk isn't simply born out of an accident with a gamma device. He is born because of Bruce's pain and suffering. It is the mind of a child trying to shield itself from the horrors brought upon by someone who's supposed to protect and care for him. The Hulk isn't an angry monster because he is mindless. He is angry because he is the repressed rage of a child who was not given the space to deal with it. My favorite scene in the movie isn't that of the Hulk being angry, or the action, or the trippy visuals, but it is the scene of the Hulk simply reminiscing. How do you depict a memory? How do you depict a scent in a medium that, despite all its wondrous aspects, is unable to convey that one deeply specific personal sense? The movie isn't subtle about it. It doesn't wanna be subtle about it. It wants you to clearly see the correlation between Bruce, Desert Flowers, and her mother, furthered by the incorporation of Danny Elfman's excellent score, which utilizes aspects from Michael Dana's rejected music for the film. It serves as a reminder that the Hulk isn't just a mindless monster or the Hyde to Bruce's Jekyll. He is simply a child, yearning for the safety and comfort of his mother. Yearning for the peaceful days that never were and never could be. Yearning for the days that were forcibly taken with a violent, horrible act that gave birth to him in the first place. And you know, I could continue to overanalyze the crap out of this. I could, for instance, talk about how Brian, the source of all of Bruce's trauma and Hulk's anger, is portrayed as someone who gets more strength by absorbing his son's pain, whose very existence literally suffocates Bruce, and how his defeat ultimately comes from the realization that the Hulk's true strength is not in his muscles or his invincibility, but in his endurance and ability to handle all the rage and pain that no one else could.
You think you can live with it? Take it!
But, this is also the movie with giant mutant poodles, so what do I really know? Thank you so much for watching and dealing with the awful popping on my mic. This is a movie I'm so passionate about that I had to make a video about it. Bad equipment be damned. If you like this video, maybe smash that like button, give the subscribe button a nice little rub, and take this share button to a nice candlelit dinner and tell it how much you care about it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, check me out at Rambling Nerdy, and let me know if there's another movie you want to see me, ramble about. Thank you so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time. Bye!